Hi there, it's Regina, bringing you more words of affirmation this week in the form of inspirational quotes from African American leaders in Black history. With all that's going on in the world right now surrounding racism, I thought it was only fitting to remind us of those who have been champions of change throughout the years and to reflect on their powerful words to bring some focus to the significance of the conversations that we are having in the present day. Racism runs deep for Black people, and while those who are not Black can never understand our struggles unless you've walked in our shoes, truly listening to what our experiences have been throughout history, not only with slavery, but beyond that abolition, is key to the first step in comprehending the pain, anger, and frustration you are seeing displayed today. Listen now to my voice as I bring you words of inspiration through the wisdom and insightfulness of our leaders and game changers from my Black history. Maya Angelou. Prejudice is a burden that confuses the past, threatens the future, and renders the present inaccessible. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. It is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all the threads of that tapestry are equal in value, no matter their color. Rosa Parks. To bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. We will fail when we fail to try. Our mistreatment was just not right, and I was tired of it. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. Oprah Winfrey. Excellence is the best deterrent to racism and sexism. Angela Davis. In a racist society, it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. If you succumb to the temptation of using violence in the struggle, unborn generations will be the recipients of a long and desolate night of bitterness. And your chief legacy to the future will be an endless reign of meaningless chaos. Malcolm X. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or who says it. Cornel West. Justice is what love looks like in public. None of us alone can save the nation or the world, but each of us can make a positive difference if we commit ourselves to do so. Barack Obama. I see what's possible when we recognize that we are one American family, all deserving of equal treatment. Black Lives Matter simply refers to the notion that there's a specific vulnerability for African Americans that needs to be addressed. It's not meant to suggest that other lives don't matter. It's to suggest that other folks aren't experiencing this particular vulnerability. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Audre Lorde, it is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. Toni Morrison, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. Nelson Mandela, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite.